Welcome back, dear listeners, to another captivating episode of our weekly bedtime stories. If you've returned, it's because you're in search of a tale that will whisk you away to far-off places, ignite your imagination, and fill your heart with the joy of discovery. Before we embark on tonight's enchanting journey, I urge you to click that subscribe button, ensuring you never miss a single story that can transport you to new horizons and fill your dreams with wonder. Tonight's story, Finding Joy in the Sky, is a soaring adventure that celebrates the boundless beauty of our world above. It's a narrative that will carry you to the heavens, where the sky itself becomes a canvas for joy and inspiration. So settle into your favorite listening spot, let the cares of the day drift away, and let the uplifting tale of finding joy in the sky take flight. Join us as we explore a world where the sky holds endless possibilities, where joy knows no bounds, and where the wonders of the universe await. Johanna had always been a dreamer. Growing up in the quiet, tree-lined streets of Wappinger, New York, she spent her childhood gazing at the clouds, wondering what lay beyond. Her mother, Leah, had moved with her to Salt Lake City to be closer to her daughter, leaving behind the familiar sights and sounds of their suburban life. Johanna's days were consumed by her career as a schoolteacher. She had a heart of gold and cared deeply for her students, but the job took its toll. Managing a classroom of 27 young souls without the support of a teacher's aide was an overwhelming task. Discipline was necessary, and at times her stern approach led to strongly worded emails from concerned parents. In the evenings, she would often vent to her closest friend Andrew, who remained her lifeline even though they were separated by half a country and a 2-hour time difference. Their late-night conversations were a source of comfort to her, helping her navigate the pressures society placed on her to settle down and start a family. Society's expectations weighed heavily on Johanna's shoulders. She felt the pressure to find a partner, but every date or outing only heightened her insecurities about her appearance. Her self-consciousness about her weight led her to question her worth, and she often cried herself to sleep in her lonely Salt Lake City home. One evening, as Johanna and her loyal companion, her dog Max, sat together on the couch, she contemplated her decision to move to Utah. She had left her friends and family behind in New York, hoping for a fresh start in the West. However, she struggled to find the deep connection she had back home. Johanna's mother, Leah, was content in Salt Lake City with her boyfriend, but Johanna couldn't shake the feeling of loneliness that enveloped her. She pondered the idea of returning to New York, where her friends had always embraced her with their blunt, honest camaraderie. It was in the midst of this emotional turmoil that Johanna stumbled upon a meetup group event for a hot air balloon ride in Salt Lake City. She had never experienced anything like it before, and the idea of floating in the sky, far from the pressures of her everyday life, appealed to her. She arrived at the event, feeling a mixture of excitement and nervousness. As she walked in, a friendly voice greeted her. "You must be Johanna. You're prettier than your picture." Johanna blushed and responded with a grateful, "Why, thank you." The event organizer, Aaron, standing 6 foot tall with blonde hair and blue eyes, introduced himself and shared that he co-owned the hot air ballooning company with his brother. He explained that they organized meetup group events to offer free rides to guests, providing them with a unique experience. Johanna felt an instant connection with Aaron, noticing that he wasn't wearing a ring on his finger. As they chatted, Johanna opened up about the challenges of being a single woman in Salt Lake City, and Aaron reciprocated with his own experiences as a single man. They both shared stories of dating struggles and past relationships, forming a bond that felt surprisingly effortless. It turned out that no one else had shown up for the meetup except for Johanna, despite 3 other RSVPs. It was just the two of them, high above the city, as they spent 2 hours taking in the breathtaking views of Salt Lake. As the hot air balloon gently descended, Aaron turned to Johanna with a hopeful smile and asked, "Would you like to go on a date with me?" Johanna hesitated for a moment, her past experiences echoing in her mind, but something about Aaron's sincerity and warmth made her heart skip a beat. She replied with a heartfelt, "Yes." Their adventure had just begun, and neither of them could have anticipated the incredible journey that lay ahead. The day of Johanna and Aaron's first date arrived with the promise of adventure and the thrill of uncertainty. Johanna had shared her location with her friends as a safety precaution, but she couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement as she dressed for her day with Aaron. They had agreed to meet at 10 a.m., and as Johanna arrived at the designated spot, she spotted Aaron waiting with a warm smile. He wore a casual outfit that hinted at the outdoor activities they had planned. "Hey, Aaron," Johanna greeted him, her heart fluttering with anticipation. "Good morning, Johanna. Ready for an adventure?" Aaron replied, extending his hand for a friendly handshake. Johanna nodded eagerly. "Absolutely." Their first stop was a nearby hiking trail that Aaron had chosen for their date. As they walked, they engaged in easy conversation, discussing the nuances of the atmosphere, the beauty of the surroundings, and sharing stories about their lives. "This trail leads to an incredible overlook," Aaron mentioned, his eyes gleaming with excitement. "The view from up there is something you won't want to miss." Johanna couldn't help but admire Aaron's enthusiasm for the outdoors and his thoughtful planning of their date. She felt a sense of connection with him, something she hadn't experienced in a long time. Along the trail, they encountered wildflowers, listened to the chirping of birds, and soaked in the natural beauty surrounding them. The conversation flowed effortlessly, and Johanna found herself sharing stories from her past, including her move to Salt Lake City and the challenges she had faced. As they reached the overlook, they were greeted by a breathtaking panorama of Salt Lake City and the distant mountains. Johanna was in awe of the view, but she couldn't tear her eyes away from Aaron. There was something magnetic about his presence that made her heart race. "It's incredible," she breathed, taking in the scenery. "It is," Aaron agreed, his gaze fixed on her. "But you know, the view is even better when shared with someone special." Johanna blushed, feeling a warmth spread through her chest. She was beginning to sense that this date was unlike any she had experienced before. It wasn't just about the beautiful scenery, it was about the connection they were building. After spending a while at the overlook, they decided to head back down the trail. The descent was filled with laughter and playful banter, and Johanna couldn't help but notice the way Aaron's eyes lit up when he looked at her. As they made their way back to the starting point, Johanna felt a growing sense of comfort and attraction toward Aaron. She had never expected this date to be so enchanting, and she was eager to see where their adventure would take them next. Little did she know that the day was far from over, and there were more surprises in store. Johanna was about to discover that sometimes the most remarkable connections are found when you least expect them, in the heart of an adventure. With the hike behind them, Johanna and Aaron continued their date with appetites stirred by the fresh mountain air. As they headed back to the city, Aaron suggested a visit to a local burger joint, Marty's Burger Haven. It was a place known for its mouth-watering burgers and nostalgic ambience. Johanna agreed with enthusiasm, feeling more comfortable and at ease with Aaron as the day went on. They arrived at the burger joint, and the savory aroma of grilled patties filled the air. It was a popular spot, and the cheerful chatter of patrons added to the lively atmosphere. Aaron held the door open for Johanna, and they found a cozy booth by the window. The menu was filled with tempting options, and Johanna couldn't resist ordering her favorite burger, a classic cheeseburger with all the fixings. As they waited for their food to arrive, they engaged in conversation, sharing stories of their favorite childhood meals and family traditions. Aaron talked about the burgers his father used to make on summer evenings, while Johanna reminisced about her mother's lasagna. Johanna couldn't help but notice Aaron's attentive and considerate nature. He was genuinely interested in getting to know her, and his warm smile put her at ease. Their burgers arrived, accompanied by a generous serving of crispy fries. Johanna smiled as she saw the mountain of ketchup cups that had been placed on the table. "Wow, they really know how to load you up with ketchup here," Aaron commented, his eyes twinkling with amusement. Johanna chuckled. "Oh, I have a bit of a ketchup addiction, I guess." Aaron playfully teased her. "You aren't going to finish all of that, are you?" Johanna, determined to prove him wrong, picked up a fry and dipped it into one of the ketchup cups, determined to make a dent in her ketchup supply. They laughed together as they enjoyed their burgers and shared fries. Conversation flowed effortlessly between them, and Johanna began to feel a sense of comfort and connection she hadn't experienced in a long time. She realized that Aaron was different from the men she had dated in the past. He was kind, down to earth, and had a way of making her feel special. As they finished their meal and sipped on milkshakes, Aaron glanced at his watch and said, "I have something special planned for the next part of our date. It's a surprise, so I hope you're up for it." Johanna's curiosity was piqued. She couldn't help but feel excited about what Aaron had in store for her. With a playful glint in her eye, she replied, "I'm ready for anything." Their adventure had already been filled with surprises and connection, and Johanna was eager to see where Aaron would lead her next. Little did she know that their date was about to take an even more enchanting turn, and the bond between them would continue to deepen with each passing moment. As Aaron and Johanna left Marty's Burger Haven, the sun was beginning its descent toward the horizon, casting a warm golden glow over Salt Lake City. Johanna couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation about the surprise Aaron had in store for the next part of their date. They climbed into Aaron's car and Johanna tried to contain her excitement. "So Aaron, where are we heading next?" she asked, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. Aaron flashed a mischievous grin. "Well, Johanna, it's a bit of a secret, but I promise you'll love it. Just sit back and enjoy the ride." Johanna leaned back in her seat, her heart racing with a combination of excitement and nervousness. She had already shared a memorable hike and a delicious burger with Aaron, and now she was ready for the next adventure. After a short drive, they arrived at the entrance of a cave system nestled within the rugged hills surrounding Salt Lake City. The sun had dipped below the horizon, and the world was bathed in the soft hues of twilight. Aaron parked the car, and they stepped out into the cool evening air. The entrance to the cave was marked by a narrow trail, and the path was illuminated by a soft, eerie glow from their flashlights. It was clear that Aaron had planned this adventure down to the smallest detail. Johanna had never been inside a cave before, and the thought of exploring the hidden world beneath the earth filled her with a sense of wonder. As they ventured deeper into the cave, Aaron's calm presence reassured her. Inside, the cave was a realm of darkness and mystery. Stalactites hung from the ceiling like icicles, and strange rock formations loomed in the shadows. The echoes of their footsteps reverberated through the chamber, creating an otherworldly symphony. At one point, Aaron suggested they take a break and sit on a flat rock. He was an experienced meditator and had brought along a portable meditation cushion. "How about we have a short meditation session here?" he suggested, setting up the cushion. Johanna hesitated for a moment, but the serene atmosphere of the cave and Aaron's reassuring presence made her agree. They sat cross-legged, and Aaron guided her through a meditation, focusing on their breath and the peaceful energy of the cave. Johanna had never felt so relaxed and centered. The worries and stresses of her daily life seemed to melt away in the cave's embrace. She was filled with a profound sense of gratitude for this unexpected and magical experience. As the meditation session ended, they lingered in the cave, gazing at the delicate, glistening formations that adorned the walls. The silence between them was comfortable, and Johanna couldn't help but be drawn to Aaron. With the cave exploration complete, they made their way back to the entrance where the night had fully descended. The stars shone brightly in the sky, and Johanna felt a renewed sense of connection to the world around her. As they walked back to the car, Aaron turned to her with a gentle smile. "I hope you enjoyed our underground adventure, Johanna." Johanna nodded, her heart filled with a sense of wonder. "It was incredible, Aaron. Thank you for showing me something so beautiful." Their date had taken an unexpected and enchanting turn, deepening the bond between them. As they drove back to the city, Johanna couldn't help but feel that this was a night she would never forget. A night of connection, mystery, and the promise of something truly special. The drive back to the city was filled with a comfortable silence. Johanna gazed out of the car window, reminiscing about the wonderful moments they had shared during their date. She couldn't help but smile at how unexpected and magical the evening had been. Aaron's voice broke the silence as he glanced at her. "Johanna, I have one more surprise for you tonight." Johanna turned to him with curiosity. "Another surprise? You've really outdone yourself." Aaron chuckled, his eyes twinkling. "I hope you'll like this one. It's a bit more romantic." As they pulled into a parking lot near a dimly lit park, Johanna's heart quickened. The park was nearly empty, and the soft glow of streetlights bathed the area in a warm and inviting ambience. They stepped out of the car, and Aaron led Johanna to a secluded spot at the edge of the park, where a cozy blanket had been laid out beneath the starlit sky. It was a perfect night for stargazing, with the constellations shimmering overhead. "I thought we could spend some time here, just enjoying the stars," Aaron said, his eyes fixed on the night sky. Johanna settled onto the blanket, feeling a sense of tranquility wash over her. She gazed up at the stars, each one a tiny, distant point of light in the vast expanse of the universe. Aaron joined her on the blanket, and they lay side by side, their fingers brushing against each other as they pointed out constellations. The night air was cool, but the warmth of their shared experience and connection kept them comfortable. As they lay there, Johanna couldn't help but feel a sense of vulnerability. The moments they had shared throughout the date had created an intimacy between them that was unlike anything she had experienced before. Aaron turned to her, his eyes filled with a gentle intensity. "Johanna, there's something I've been wanting to do all night." Johanna's heart skipped a beat as she met his gaze. She could feel the magnetic pull between them, the unspoken connection that had been growing throughout their date. With a soft, hesitant smile, Aaron leaned in and Johanna closed her eyes, her heart pounding in her chest. Their lips met in a tender, unforgettable moment, a moment beneath the starlit sky that felt like a promise of something beautiful and new. It was a moment filled with the magic of the night, the shared adventures of the day, and the deepening connection between two souls who had found something special in each other. Time seemed to stand still as they lost themselves in the sweetness of the moment. When they finally pulled away, Johanna opened her eyes, her cheeks flushed, and her heart brimming with emotions. She couldn't help but smile as she looked at Aaron. "That was," she began, her voice soft and filled with wonder. Aaron finished her sentence, "a moment to cherish." They lay there for a while longer, their fingers intertwined, and the night sky as their witness. It was a night neither of them would ever forget, a night of adventure, connection, and a moment that had changed everything. As they gazed at the stars, Johanna couldn't help but feel that she was exactly where she was supposed to be, in the company of someone who saw her for who she truly was, a woman with a heart that longed for love and connection. Their journey had only just begun, and Johanna couldn't wait to see where it would lead. The night sky continued to stretch above them, its vastness filled with countless stars that seemed to hold the promise of infinite possibilities. As Johanna and Aaron lay side by side on the cozy blanket, the world around them felt suspended in time. Johanna couldn't help but replay the moments of their date in her mind, the hike, the burger joint, the cave meditation, and the tender kiss beneath the starlit canopy. It had been a night unlike any other, and she cherished every second of it. Aaron turned to her, his eyes reflecting the starlight. "Johanna, I want to get to know you better. Tell me about your dreams and aspirations." Johanna smiled, feeling a warm rush of gratitude. "Well, Aaron, my dream has always been to make a positive impact on the lives of my students. I'm a school teacher, as you know, and I've always believed in the power of education to shape young minds and make the world a better place." Aaron nodded, his gaze never leaving her. "That's a noble dream, Johanna. I can see the passion in your eyes when you talk about it." Encouraged by his genuine interest, Johanna continued, "I also dream of finding a deep and lasting connection with someone who sees beyond the surface, someone who appreciates the real me." Aaron reached out and gently brushed a strand of her hair behind her ear. "I'm starting to see the real you, Johanna, and I think you're an amazing person." Johanna's heart skipped a beat at his words. She had never felt so seen and appreciated by someone she had just met. It was as though Aaron had a way of peering into her soul and understanding her in a way that left her breathless. Aaron shared his own dreams with her, revealing his love for adventure and his desire to create unique experiences for people. He spoke about his passion for hot air ballooning and how it had led him to start his own business. As they talked, Johanna felt a deepening connection between them. It was as though they were laying the foundation for something beautiful and meaningful, something that had the potential to grow into a love story for the ages. Time passed unnoticed, and the night sky continued its slow dance above them. They shared stories, laughter, and dreams, their bond growing stronger with each passing moment. Eventually, Aaron turned to her with a soft smile. "Johanna, I've had an incredible time tonight, and I'd like to see where this journey takes us. Would you like to go on another adventure with me?" Johanna's heart soared with joy as she replied, "Yes, Aaron, I'd love to." As they lay side by side beneath the starry canopy, Johanna couldn't help but feel that their connection was written in the constellations above. She had taken a leap of faith when she moved to Salt Lake City, and now, in Aaron's company, she felt that every step of her journey had led her to this moment. A moment filled with hope, love, and the promise of a shared future. Their journey had only just begun, but Johanna couldn't wait to see where it would lead. They had become a couple after dating for 2 months, and the 2 years that followed their magical night beneath the stars were a whirlwind of adventure and discovery for Johanna and Aaron. They embarked on countless outings together, exploring the beauty of Salt Lake City and creating memories that would last a lifetime. Their bond deepened with each passing day, and Johanna couldn't help but feel that she had found not only a partner, but also a kindred spirit. Aaron's zest for life and his adventurous spirit were the perfect complements to her own. One sunny Saturday morning, Aaron surprised Johanna with a hot air balloon ride, the very same activity that had brought them together. They soared high above the city, the breathtaking views of Salt Lake City and the surrounding mountains stretching out before them. It was a moment of pure bliss, and Johanna couldn't have imagined a more perfect date. As they floated above the landscape, Aaron turned to Johanna and said, "You know, Johanna, I've been thinking a lot about us." Johanna smiled, her heart fluttering. "Me too, Aaron. It's been an incredible journey." Aaron nodded, his eyes filled with sincerity. "I've realized that I don't want this journey to end. Johanna, I love being with you, and I can see a future with you by my side." Tears welled up in Johanna's eyes as she listened to his heartfelt words. She had longed for a connection like this, one that felt so genuine and so right. "Aaron, I feel the same way. I've never met anyone like you, and I can't imagine my life without you in it." With a smile that could light up the entire sky, Aaron reached into his pocket and produced a small velvet box. He opened it to reveal a stunning engagement ring, glistening in the morning sun. "Johanna," he said, his voice filled with emotion, "will you marry me?" Johanna gasped in surprise, her heart racing. She had dreamed of this moment, but now that it was here, it felt even more magical than she could have ever imagined. She nodded through tears of joy. "Yes, Aaron, 1,000 times yes." Tears of happiness streamed down Aaron's cheeks as he slipped the ring onto Johanna's finger. They sealed their commitment with a kiss high above the world, surrounded by the beauty of nature and the promise of their shared future. Their engagement was met with joy and celebration from both their families and friends. Leah, Johanna's mother, was overjoyed at the news and couldn't be happier for her daughter. Johanna's friends from New York, especially Andrew, cheered her on from afar, thrilled to see her find love and happiness in Salt Lake City. The wedding planning began, and Johanna and Aaron eagerly embarked on the journey of preparing for their special day. It was a whirlwind of decisions, from choosing a venue to picking out flowers and tasting wedding cakes, but they did it all together, their love growing stronger with each step of the process. As the wedding day drew nearer, Johanna couldn't help but reflect on the incredible journey she had taken since moving to Salt Lake City. She had left behind her old life in Wappinger, New York, in search of a fresh start, and she had found so much more: a loving partner, a supportive community, and a future filled with endless possibilities. Their love story had unfolded beneath the starry canopy of the Utah sky, and as they stood on the precipice of their new life together, Johanna knew that their adventure was just beginning. With Aaron by her side, she was ready to embrace whatever the future held, knowing that their love was a beacon guiding them forward on their shared path. The day of Johanna and Aaron's wedding dawned with clear skies and a gentle breeze, a perfect reflection of the love that had blossomed between them. As Johanna stood in her bridal gown, her heart swelled with anticipation and excitement. Her mother, Leah, entered the room, her eyes glistening with tears of joy. "You look absolutely stunning, sweetheart," she said, her voice filled with love and pride. Johanna smiled, feeling a rush of gratitude for her mother's unwavering support. "Thank you, Mom. I couldn't have asked for a better day." The ceremony took place in a picturesque garden, surrounded by lush greenery and vibrant flowers in full bloom. Johanna walked down the aisle, her eyes locked on Aaron, who stood beneath a beautiful archway adorned with fresh roses. Their friends and family watched with smiles and tears as the couple exchanged heartfelt vows. They promised to support each other in all of life's adventures, to cherish each other's dreams, and to love one another unconditionally. When they were pronounced husband and wife, the applause and cheers of their loved ones filled the air. Johanna and Aaron shared a passionate kiss, sealing their commitment to each other. The reception that followed was filled with laughter, heartfelt toasts, and dancing under the starry Utah night sky. Johanna's friends from New York and Aaron's family from Salt Lake City mingled and celebrated, creating new connections and forming bonds that would last a lifetime. As the night drew to a close, Johanna and Aaron stole a moment alone. They walked hand in hand to a quiet corner of the garden, where they could see the stars overhead, just as they had on their first date. Aaron turned to Johanna, his eyes filled with love. "Johanna, this journey we've been on together has been nothing short of amazing. I can't wait to see where life takes us next." Johanna smiled, her heart bursting with happiness. "Aaron, you are my greatest adventure. I love you more than words can express." They shared a sweet and tender kiss, a symbol of the love that had brought them together and the promise of a lifetime of happiness and shared dreams. Their love story, which had begun with a chance meeting beneath the starry Utah sky, had now evolved into a lifelong commitment, and Johanna couldn't have been happier. As they danced under the stars on their wedding night, she knew that their journey together was just beginning. A journey filled with love, adventure, and the promise of a bright and beautiful future. And so, beneath the same starry canopy that had witnessed the magic of their first date, Johanna and Aaron began their new life together, hand in hand, ready to embrace all the adventures that lay ahead.